Welcome to another episode on the Live Podcast. So this is our third episode for our video podcast, and I'm excited to be here. And I'm here with another guest. So I'll let him do the introduction, but then just a little background introduction. So we met in school, RCF, and why I decided to bring him on this show was because between that time in RCF and now, many things has changed. So one of the things I told him was that I wanted him to come share a story, how he moved from zero, not like zero, like from 1 to 100, like what changed, what's like was the miracle that happened. So that's why I'm inviting him here. So I'll let him introduce himself. All right, so Jola, kindly introduce yourself. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me. So, hello everybody. My name is Jolaadura Ezekiel Adegoke. I'm a creative and currently I find expression through photography and filmmaking. So yeah, so for now, I think that's about me. Then Minister of the Gospel. So.
All right, that makes sense. To be honest, I think why in RCF, if they had told, probably told us that, he was going to be like a renowned photographer, I would probably have.
Yeah,
you are. You are. I think if they said you're going to be like a photographer, I would say, maybe you're probably going to be a gospel minister, probably a pastor or something.
I still am now,
But photography is like the major thing you're doing, right? So my question is now, how did you get into photography? Like, how did you decide that, I wanted to have this as the major thing I'm doing?
Okay, so let me start by saying thank you very much for bringing me. I'm really honored. But
Glad
for photography, right? When people ask me how did you get to photography, I'm like, how did I? I'm like, I don't know, but I think I have a bit of an idea of how I got into photography. So back in school, RCFU, I was a part of the publicity unit, and of course before UI, I had a bit of idea in designs and just all of this media stuff.
Okay.
I could do PowerPoint properly, so all of those things. So when I was on level, I was made the media secretary for the freshers we call it RFC. So from there, I got into the publicity unit of RCFUI, and then I discovered that if I take pictures of people with the camera, with the phone, it just somehow really comes out well. It's like, okay. So it's just there as what I'll call maybe a hobby or something like that. Okay. A hobby, an hobby is real. A hobby, an hobby. A hobby, right? That's not work. So yeah, so pick up some. So All right, so it began as something I would call a hobby, right? Because as I said, I figured that I could take good pictures and pictures came out well. But somewhere in 2020, during the lockdown, everybody was at home not doing anything. So more like we're discovering ourselves again and what have you. Then I discovered that, number one, I could sharpen the skill and make it better. And number two, I discovered that I could make money from it. So that was how I found myself in photography. So after the lockdown, I started to become more serious with it, and so right here.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so why photography? You said you could do well with PowerPoint and other things. So why did you decide to go into photography? Why not choose any other thing else?
As I said, I currently find expression in more than through pictures, filmmaking, a few other stuff here and there. But why photography? There are many times where we do things and we really cannot say, at the moment I'm doing this thing because God said do this thing. But it is in the future when you're looking back and like, truly God has ordered my steps to be here at this particular time. So I would say what started as a hobby, looking at it in hindsight, and I can say, truly God has ordered my step to this path, and it's the reason why I'm still here. So I can say why photography, because I felt like, but in hindsight, God has ordered my step.
So I like the fact that you mentioned that God did not really tell you that, my son, go into photography, but it just felt like an hobby. And then looking back, you saw that it was God really urging your steps. So between 2019, when you started out as the media secretary for the freshers and now, what happened?
That was like 2017.
Okay, 2017. So what happened? Like, what changed? Because I remember I saw a video of Mike Bamiloye. He said that he took a picture, and I think they rubbished you down on that picture. Like, they said, what kind of quality picture is this? And then something changed. Just tell us what happened, and then we can now see that you are taking pictures and the pictures are coming out so great, and you are making very good living out of it. So what changed? What did you do? Did you take a course? Did somebody come and say, I give you all the knowledge in photography, or what happened?
I'm not allowed to defend myself, but that means I have to defend myself. This particular video you made reference to, the picture in question was in 2022, I guess, 2022. So prior to that time, I was taking good pictures, but something just happened that did that, the entire thing went up. But of course, we have been wired not to put blame on anybody, so I take the blame for that. But what changed? 2020, as I said, during the lockdown, I discovered, people. So 2020 was when I knew that God would be having me do films. So but I didn't start that till last year. So, but when I discovered that filmmaking and photography would be a strong point for my media expression, what I did in 2020 was I started to research about them. So then, for example, let me branch a bit to filmmaking. I knew that God would have me do filmmaking. So if I check, I possibly would attach a screenshot of that message I sent to one of my friends, Ayo, to the interview. And when I knew, it was more like I knew I was going to ask him to do a filmmaking, specifically Mount Zion.
Okay.
So what I did then was I started finding out, BTS on Mount Zion. Let me just see what it looks like to be on the Mount Zion set. So same with photography. So I watched series of videos. I didn't say I watched over 40 gig worth videos on YouTube, because I knew that I was doing blow on air for 1 gig overnight, and sometimes I do like 2-3 times in the midnight, and just all over during lockdown. So but 2021, I met a man called Yemi King, 2022 actually, and then from there he has been a mentor, very good man, very good on that, and I started asking him questions. But prior to that time, I was largely self-taught. So 2022 was like the first time I would say, I think, or 2023, I can't remember now. 2022, towards the end, it was like, it was in May. That's when I would say I had like a very first workshop kind of stuff. So, and he had a 3-day workshop for his birthday. Then God gave me the strength to do a free workshop, because at the time, even if it was a paid workshop, there was no way I could afford it. So that was like my first experience with having a workshop. And then so from there that my work began to progress. After that time, I didn't really do another workshop, just learning. So I have a group of friends, we ask questions, we do practice shoot together, Emmanuel the Fab, Motun, who is now the current photographer for the Ondo State Governor. So just like that. And then towards the end of last year, I felt, okay, I think it's time to take another course. And I traveled to Abuja for 2 months. And I had a workshop with Okweri, they call him Big H. So that's just about it between then and now. So workshops, trainings, having mentors in the field, having friends that I can rub mind together. And just putting in hard work. I am not where I want to be, but the truth is that I am no longer where I used to be.
I like that statement. I am not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. So I like the fact that there's the importance of mentoring, importance of training, importance of making sure that you don't just remain where you are, like improve. Can I
add something to that?
Yes.
Just to balance it. So as much as I'm a Christian who is a creative, right? So as much as, I just remember now that as much as I've spoken about mentorship, I've spoken about relationship and stuff, there is one cardinal point that I shouldn't miss out on, and that is the importance of having God in your life. So there were times where I remember in 2021, I was somewhere and I was thinking in my head like, I found a scripture. You have an unction from the Holy One, and that unction teaches you all things. So then, I said I was largely self-taught for a while.
Yes.
So then, remember, I was like, if everything is true, it means that to a great extent, I can learn some things by the Holy Ghost. So there were some things that I knew that was not taught by anyone, and I didn't see anywhere. So for example, I saw a friend of mine, a brother, Richard, call him Cookman. So I saw that he had this effect in his pictures. I was like, brother, how can I achieve this? And I was taking a walk in my mind. When you take a pictures, do this. And then I tried it. And it came out nice. I'm like, really? So, but one of the reasons why I decided to take learning the basics seriously, because I felt like if I want to teach people this thing, I can't tell them I saw innovation. I have to be able to learn things and languages and lingua that I can use to accurately pass my information. So so that's the balance.
Okay. So thank you very much for that. So my question now is, you talked about skills, learning skill sets, mentoring, training, and then there's the God factor, which is very important. So can you can you probably tell to creatives out there between the thin line between, God gives us grace, but there's work for you to do. So not just say I'm a Christian and I rely on the Holy Ghost for everything. Yes, important to rely on the Holy Ghost for everything, but then there is work to do. So what is the thin line between people who are in that space? I'm putting in so much work, but there is not a God factor there, and there is a God factor, and I'm still relying so much on God. Why God has given you people to help you in this area?
I think what the hill will forever die on is the fact that as a believer, I believe that you have what it takes to be successful than every other person that's not a believer. Because you have the Holy Ghost on your inside.
Yes.
So what it means is that what should come to you naturally by the help of God may not come to an unbeliever naturally. So it means that if, as a believer, if you can maximize that to the fullest, you should be better than an unbeliever in your field. Or at least you should be excellent to a very good degree. Right? I was telling someone that was on an Nollywood set recently, and I saw excellence without speaking in tongues. They were not praying every day for side production, but this was excellence at its peak. Shout out to Adenike, right? So back to what I was saying. There is whatever it is you call grace will eventually remain dormant, or eventually remain not fully maximized if you don't labor to make the grace active. So even the Apostle Paul in Timothy was saying something like, fan to flames the gift that was imparted in you truly in advance. So the grace was imparted, but you have to do the work of finding to flames through prayer, study, meditation, whatever it is, to ensure that thing is active. So there is no grace that, as much as I say, for example, now, I don't really watch football like that, right? They say Messi is a gifted player, but not just the one that works hard. If Messi does not have contact with football in 2 years, 3 years, he most likely is going to start losing form. So it doesn't matter how graced you think you are, you really have to put in the work to ensure that everything that you think God has blessed you with is fully maximized. So it makes you have, two legs, quote and unquote. You are standing on the grace of God, the power of God, the might of God, the intelligence of how intelligent God has made your mind be, and also you're standing on the excellence of your work. So the Bible says that people that put their trust in arm of flesh will fail. So it means that to a large extent, arm of flesh is important. Yes. But don't put your trust in it. So you work as though you don't have God, quote and unquote, and you hold God as if you don't work at all. So that I think that's like the fine balance in between.
That's very profound. Like you work as if you don't have God, then you hold on to God as if you don't have work. Because even God worked for 6 days and rested on the 7th day. So God has actually helped us to see the importance of work and also again relying on Him. So even as a creative, it's very important that there is grace. We all acknowledge that, but then there is the need for you to put in the work so that when you produce work, it is excellent and people can feel that, you can see God in the things you are doing.
Yes.
So now to the point of what challenges did you face even in this journey? Because it is not easy. Hard work is hard as it is. That hard is is in bold italics. Like hard work is hard because you have to, as you said, sleepless nights. Not everybody have that attention span to sit down and be watching 40 gigs for that long. Exactly. So what challenges did you face? Like what motivation did you give yourself that even when you want to be tired out, that I'm going to stay to this, I must get the juice out of this?
Jokingly, but still truthfully, motivation, you can't be poor now. I cannot say you're poor.
Exactly.
If you think about children, you should have mentor your children. I posted something on my status jokingly yesterday. I was saying that they say, all that stuff now, they say, actually, so I said something like, you are bewitched if you don't assist your parents publicly because they are nowhere to do. And you ask your parents that, oh, my parents, when Dangote was making money, my parents, I say, you now, but you are your sisters, are you building your sisters here? The children go so ask you now and say, oh, but daddy, when is making money? So, yeah, so the challenge is that I would say a lot. So I think one of these that characterizes progress is that you keep encountering something that is not what you are used to. So that thing, becomes a challenge in that particular level until you're able to manage it and scale through it again. Then you encounter something else. So at different levels, at different phases, there were different, things that felt was a challenge. At some point, not having a laptop was a challenge. But now, that not exactly a challenge again, right? At some point, maybe not getting enough clients was a challenge. And now, there's some people that want to show themselves that, message me now, you message me now. But of course, like I said, we're not where we want to be, but we are far from where we used to be. So I would say, number one, maybe money. I think money is like, unless you're born with a silver spoon, money is a challenge for you creative. There are people that I saw, a video of an Instagram page of a particular celeb's wife, a celebrity's wife, right? She was starting photography. Not concerned starting from the top. She was starting with big clients. There's money. She's not building her portfolio and those things. Having to put in the work. So, for example, if setting out for work for photography, for example, you have an idea of what kind of clients you want to attract. So it means that you have to intentionally tailor your output, your work, to reflect that level of clientele, so to speak. So, for example, if you're looking at photographing, if you're a tailor, for example, you're looking at making clothes for the 1%, right? I'm not one of the 1% yet. Of course, I will be someday, right? But I don't think the one of the 1% will be on my page, on your page, if it's people, like some people that are on your page that are not them, right? So my point is one of the challenges that is a thin line between, I'm trying to build my portfolio to align with the kind of clientele, but at the moment, I need to work so I don't die of hunger.
Exactly.
So you're bent in between, do I shoot for free or do I charge this person this amount? So that can be a challenge for a creative that's trying to, find their path and just trying to be stable in that space. So what I'll say to that regard is that start from where you are. Charge what you are currently worth, and with that, you can build up. Save money for some collaborative shoots, and just build up, and then like that, you get to where you are. So there's that. There's the challenge of equipment. As I said, if you're not born with a silver spoon, you have to literally work your ass off to ensure that you get to where you should be. So there was a time where if I have a shoot, I'm renting different things from different people. Collect stand from here, collect light from here, collect reflector from that person. Literally. So you're going for a job, you have to make like 2 or 3 stops, making UCH, making Aulawa, just thank God for people that you just really believe in. It's like, okay, you can use my stuff anytime you feel like. Not every creative would have that privilege, which is important. You should have in a community that can believe in your vision. God has blessed me with a number of them, that helped me until I was able to acquire some of the things that I need, basically. So that can be a challenge. I think those are like just pretty, the few challenges I can say I can put to that really big.
Okay, so I have like 2 questions from what you just said now. So the first one is, I want you to bridge the gap between these 2 extremes. So a creative that is just starting out, I'm really interested in photography or any other thing as a creative. And then they've talked about that, if you are just starting out and you want to, like, maybe you see somebody and you want to like be like that person, you should serve, right? Like find a place to serve, at least to showcase your skills. There is that part. Another extreme is that, I have been serving for a while now, and most of the things I've been doing have been free. Somebody wants to do this, I show up, like they see me. But then I'm not making money off it. And as you said, one of the things that motivates us is money. You want to make money too, and at least you've gotten to a point that I should be making money. So please bridge the gap between those 2 extremes.
Let's take the first question again.
All right, the first one is, I'm just starting out. And they say that if you're starting out with something, maybe you're just starting out and probably have passion for it. For people to see you, you need to serve, like volunteer, right? That's the first extreme. Then the other extreme, I've been doing free work. Like I've been doing the work, been serving. I want to make money out of it. Like I have served to a number of times that I am proud of what I'm doing. People have seen me enough. But money has to come out of it. Like you don't have that patience enough to be doing free work again. Like it's time to start making money, right? So what is that bridge the gap between those two extremes?
It's a very tricky, place, but I'll make an attempt. So, as I said, if once you identify the kind of photography you want to do, or the kind of expression you want to have as a creative, it becomes really important to have something, a portfolio that speaks for you. So what volunteering does for you is that it gives you that portfolio.
Volunteering gives portfolio. Okay.
It gives you, it helps your portfolio, builds your portfolio. So 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there were jobs I started getting, not necessarily because I was that good. Of course I was that, I think I was trying at the time. But there were jobs that I got, that was because, that must be a photographer guy. And most of the early days of of course, they would be, I'll take this amount. They were just like, there's program, I they come to camera. There's production, are you free? I did free. Do you understand? So, what volunteering does for you, number one, is that it helps, it sort of brings you into the sphere or the radar. Not the radar, it brings you into the coverage or the mileage of whatever it is you're volunteering for. So, this is something like, sometimes, go, tell them you are from me, can be more powerful than your entire CV put together.
Definitely.
So, what volunteering does is that number one, it helps you build your portfolio. Number two, to a very good extent, it brings you into the radar. Not just the radar, it brings you into like their coverage, their reach. It brings you their reach. So people say, this guy, the teacher for the people that gave me job, I feel like, the band used to be giving this guy work. It means that maybe he knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
So then now it now becomes your own duty not to fall down on the bamboo.
Exactly.
So that's what volunteering does to you. And serving, right? How I see serving, I'll link it up in mentorship, is that I was telling one of my guys some days ago, I said, what mentorship does to you is that it ensures that you don't repeat the mistake of the person that is mentoring you. It collapses years for you. I said, for example, if Kenneth writes a book, or maybe if Kenneth has a book on faith, it's possibly writing a book after 11 years of ministry. It's compressing 11 years into one book for you. So if you read the book, you are sort of gleaning into about 11 years of his life without having to live that 11 years to discover what he discovered in 11 years. So what mentorship does to you is that it brings you into the knowledge of the person that has mentored you, and so you can better maximize your journey. So to become an error, for example, to make mistakes that I've seen that this person made, I told me about, and I told me this was how we rectified it. To be an error for me to not make the same mistake. So it means that as much as it looks like, as a service person, let's say how they go back, see it as arrow and a bow, being drawn back for launch. So as you're doing that for the person and you're learning from the person, see it as you are gathering momentum for a powerful start. So by the time you say, okay, it's time for you to start, you're starting out on a very greater foot. So the photographers are charged 5,000 for pictures, the photographers are charged 1,000 for pictures per picture. It's just someone which is, but there's a kind of person that will train you. If you learn from a T.Y. Bello, by matter of association, and people know that, this guy is a T.Y. Bello boy, they cannot tell you to come and shoot a picture of 5,000. It's impossible. Why? Because you have served with somebody that has given you more experience. One of the things my relationship with Yemi Kings did to me was that it opened my eyes to the possibilities of photography. So it became impossible to think in a kind of way. So if I hear something that people say that person charges this amount, I'm not saying it's like photography, because I'm in proximity with someone that has enlarged my mind to the possibilities that are there. So mentorship and volunteering and service is not a curse; it's a blessing, right? So, but where it becomes a problem is when you now feel like, oh, I think it's time to now, start charging for what I think I'm worth. Of course, sometimes it might be the first, initial reaction, like, from where to where? Of, you're making us say something one time that you charge somebody for doing, and say, who does he think he is? There might be that initial, but with time, people get used to it.
Exactly.
Because once they see that there's a kind of value this guy brings that I don't see him anywhere, they'll pay you whatever it is you charge. Right? So there are people that some photographers may never see again because they found someone that is that valuable. As a photographer, right? As I am now, some of my photographers, if they ever, come in contact with your case or TWBL or Big H, I don't expect that they're coming back. Unless maybe I now develop myself in picture and I say, okay, maybe Big H is not available. Because of the level of value they have to offer. And not just value as per product, value as per experience. I don't have that level yet. No, not your level. Life is in phases, men are in sizes.
Exactly.
So yes, I think that's just about the thin line. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for answering that. So I love that statement you said, that see service as an arrow and a bow, you go back to launch forward, right? So that's like really profound. So another question is about community. So how did you get to build community? How did you get to leverage on relationship? Because no man can be self-made. You can be self-taught, but you can't be self-made because you will need people, you will need community. So how did you get to build your own community and get to leverage on the community and also relationship? So for people that are out there, so they could utilize and make do of it.
Community. So I think is what almost everybody is still learning. So for example, now I opened the Snapchat account some days ago. I'm like, hey, how to build a community here too. So I think number one, it takes intentionality to build a community, right? And it takes value too. Building a community, what is the value you are bringing to the table that's making people come to this place? There are people that follow me not actually because his picture is nice. Oh, I saw a film that he made. I feel like the film resonates with me. I look forward to more films that he has. Let me follow him. Some people that follow me not actually because not actually because I write good films, right? But because they feel like, that's what the work he did for that person. Let me follow him. There are people that follow him because they feel like, that guy, for him to keep the secret of that celebrity, he can keep secret. So I'll book him for my wedding and he's not going to post for 1 year. So what exactly do you bring to the table? So I think once before talking about community, we're talking about the issue of value. What do you bring to the table? People are wired to gravitate towards value.
Yes.
So if there's no value, there's no point for gravitation. Why are they? There's no point for gravity. Gravitation now. So if you're not valuable enough, there's no reason why people will gravitate towards you. So once you sort the issue of value, you cannot talk about community. So how do you build community? As they say, show up. Show up. As it looks like, I have a community. There's some things that I know that, if I do this thing more, I'll build more community. I haven't mastered them yet. All of us are learning on the job. But I have a friend that I think has mastered the act of building a community. Her name is JB Afam. She's a photographer based in Abuja. Absolutely lovely person. So JB has mastered. She's showing off on TikTok, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, showing up. But we are still learning, right? But we're trying. So again, bring value to the table. Then people will gravitate towards you. But show up so that people can know what you are doing. So it is when they know what you are doing that they can know, okay, my value aligns with this person or not. Okay, my value aligns and I can come to this person and be a part of his community. So as we walked into this street for this podcast now, if you don't make noise about this place, like, there's a podcast here, we'll do a podcast here, nobody will know. Right? So show up and be loud about what you do.
Be loud about
what you do, because I think what people say, when you are broke, they will talk. If you don't have the community, they will still talk. If you post video, and the video is one like, they will still talk. If the quality is not looking somehow, they will still talk. There are not so many people that really care about it because you are that special to them.
Exactly.
Just show up and do your thing. Don't care about them. You understand? So just show up. So yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Showing up, bring value, because people gravitate towards value.
So in showing up, that's why you don't feel like.
Exactly.
Stick to the plan. Don't stick to your mood.
Stick to the plan and don't stick to your mood. All right, now, so I'm going to be asking like just short questions. Just give like maybe 3 seconds answer. So, what's like your first gig? What was it like as a photographer that you charged?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
But I know I've done. There was a time. At least I can remember when there was a time a photographer, colleague reached out and like, oh, she had a job that she couldn't be there. Can I go? I said, yeah. And then this was 2020. What now? 2012. I remember that 2022 was like, oh, I don't have money. I am like, oh, Daddy, I didn't have money. So I feel like, but it was my mom's birthday, July 27, and I needed to go home that day to see her. So how much did they pay me for the work? I think 5K or 3,000. I can't remember. Yeah, but I went. So I've shot for somebody for 5K before. So yes, I've like so I really can't remember what I can't try to remember what my first gig was, but I can't remember.
All right. So what's the largest gig you've gotten?
Oh, camera.
You should need to tell us the person. Probably just paint a scenario.
Skip.
Okay, what was it like? Like, what did you feel like? Like, oh, when you got the gig, like, did you probably think, oh, that's been a journey truly? Just the feeling you got when you got the
There's no special feeling that comes with it.
There's no special feeling.
But I still there was special feeling, but there's no special feeling that came with it, to be honest. I feel like, okay. But I think the feeling I would say is that the feeling of, oh, if someone can pay this amount of money,
and they can pay more.
They can pay more one, and it means that my work is valuable to that level. So people see me as someone that can get that kind of money from them. So yeah, because I know people are selfish.
Yes, true. So
but my clients are the best.
Good. So even in this time, like where you are presently now, do you still volunteer?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So it's just, as I said, life is in phases, men are in sizes. A sage said that to me. So volunteering, there were times where I volunteered, and after volunteering, there was no money in my account to like go home. There were things like that. But that was not wisdom enough anyways. But yeah, to a good extent, you can say, okay, maybe possibly helped in building my portfolio, but there's always a fine balance between everything. So if I want to volunteer now, I volunteer on my terms. I'm at the place where I can volunteer on my terms. Like, oh, when is it? All right, it doesn't work for me. Sorry. So, but this is because I am there now. When I'm starting out, volunteer. Because nobody will give you the added money if they're not sure you can give them the value that they need. So volunteer to be sure that you actually have that value to give. So, but not yet. I volunteer. Yes, but on my terms.
All right. In your journey as a creative and a photographer, was there a point where you said, I don't think I can do this anymore?
There was no point.
Like,
hey, we're not waiting on it.
You continue.
What would I do? My sister, for the joy sake before you. Yeah, enjoy the cross. This person is shame. No, exactly. There's nothing. We live here. That's unless God says no. We there here. Nothing. So I don't think there was a time.
That's interesting.
There's never been a time. But of course, every time people like, come on, waiting they happen. But it's not like now say I'm going to do again. No, we're not wired like that.
That's all right. So do you like have other interests, what you want to venture in the future? Like
absolutely.
Like what?
Maybe as I said, filmmaking.
You started that already.
I started that already. So I think I'd like to venture into farming.
Into what?
Farming. So yeah, I think that is one that I can.
Why farming?
Why farming?
That's extreme.
It's extreme. I just love the idea.
What did you study in school?
I don't work what I studied. I studied anthropology.
Exactly. So why farming?
Why photography? I do that.
It's extreme. Every time like, if you want to go into maybe what is close to photography, maybe start to do something in line with photography.
Yeah. So there's event production too.
And event production too.
Yes.
So why farming?
I just said event production. But why farming is just an interest. I think I just had it in mind like some years ago, maybe like 7-8 years.
Wow.
Like I think someday I'd like to farm.
That makes sense. So what should we look out for her? Jolaadura production.
This interview, when is it coming out?
It should come out July.
Okay.
July at once.
What to look out for? If this interview comes out before my film comes out, no wahala. But sometime in July I should drop a film that is Wounded, a short film. Then September, most likely another film. We shot already. We shot in January. Funny how, so but we're currently in the post-production phase. And yes, if you see this, before the film, support when the film comes out. If you see it after the film, support when the film comes out. If you see it in 2 years' time, go back to the film and go and watch it. So we just have some projects coming up. Yeah, so I think that's just about it.
All right. So outside photography, being a creative, farming, and all of these things, who is Jolaadura Ezekiel?
Who's Jolaadura Ezekiel? As much as it looks like I'm extroverted, I think I like my space. I really think I like my space. So there are days where we can be inside. It is nothing that is important to do. So if I'm not working, if I'm not stepping out to see my friends, I'm either inside the house or we step out to go and play a game. I think that's about it.
So in all of this now, there is no relationship.
Let's ask me did ask the question. So back to who's Jolaadura Ezekiel? Who's Jolaadura Ezekiel? Yeah, so I like to sleep. I like to sleep. So you can come and say I'm busy. I can be busy sleeping. So I like to sleep. But I like to I watch YouTube videos a lot. Then if I'm not doing photography, I'm listening to a Yoruba song. If I'm not listening to a Yoruba song.
Yeah, I think I've seen on your YouTube channel.
Yes, I have this project I do too. So so we do that on the side. If I'm doing all of these things, I'm writing. So basically.
That's interesting. So I think this would be my last question.
Yeah, sure, ask me more questions. What's time?
This will be my last question.
What's time? 11:46. I said 12 o'clock now.
Okay, all right.
I'm in the mood.
So I like in fact, this is really, really relaxed. Like this is like one of my most relaxed time.
Yes,
all right. So what would you tell to an upcoming creative? Because now that they've even given us the word creative, because I don't think there was the word creative before.
Photo.
Exactly. It's either you are a photographer, you're a videographer, you're a content creator, you're a this. But now they've given us like the word creative now. So to an upcoming creative, either in photography or anything the person is doing, or the person that decides that the person he or she wants to become a farmer, or he or she wants to do something outside the word creative, they tell us now. For an upcoming creative, what would you tell them? Like what sort of encouragement? Like say you're a big brother giving an advice to your little ones that are coming up, what would you tell them?
What I'll tell you is everything I said on this podcast. All right. So, but outside that, everything you want is another side of growth and discipline. Everything you want. You want to be the guy that people reach out to from all over the world for something. Everything is on the other side of growth and discipline. People that you feel like you're currently chasing and they're not giving you attention, you'll be shocked at how they'll gravitate towards you.
Yes, that's
What's your personal value? Just have value. Just have value. Do what it takes legally to have value. Right? There's that. Number 2, as I said, I spoke about the importance of mentorship earlier.
Yes.
Mentorship is absolutely important, absolutely needed. Number 3, be bold. Be very bold. You have an idea in your mind, you need somebody to possibly fund for you, someone to. The worst they can say is no. They can't kill you.
Exactly.
The worst they can say is no. I tell people that there's nobody in this life that can't talk to. Nobody. The worst you will say is no, Baba. The worst you will say is no. It's nobody I can't talk to. It doesn't matter how. Of course, I won't be the person, and this not the person. There's a psychology to everything, right? But there's nobody I can't talk to. So be bold. The worst you will say is no. Make that request. Sensible ones, anyways. But be bold. So there's that. And I'll say, it's all right sometimes to have, multiple dimensions. You're not weird. Embrace it. But what you have to learn is the wisdom to pace yourself, pace your life, and know what is important and what isn't. So I think, you're multidimensional. Don't be afraid. And so the last thing I'll say, before the last thing I'll say, is that there is nothing you feel like you want to do, regardless of how difficult it is an example. Always an example.
Yes. Somebody has done it before.
Someone has done it before. I think succeeded at it. That is an example. There's nothing new under the sun. So, I said that to say, if you feel like you are a Christian creative, for example, and God has called you to ministry, and like, you're giving God excuses as to why you won't be able to do that. We have a cloud of witness. Let me give you an example. If you feel like God has called you to be a photographer, and you're like, I can't do ministry with photography. One of the reasons, and I'm telling you now, one of the reasons why you cannot tell God that, I couldn't do it because I didn't set an example. Because I'm telling you now, that God will point to you, Elvis Okifo.
What's the meaning of that?
That's a pastor. Pastor Elvis Okifo. He's a pastor. You will not even know he's a photographer. It's a photographer.
Wow.
And he's a pastor. He has a not fast growing, sorry, but they go. But he has a growing church. Sound.
That.
Sound study. Very, 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 very solid man. If you're a photographer, and God has called you to do music ministry, for example, telling God, I can't do it. God will point to where below.
Exactly.
As to the reason why you can't see, you can't do it. So what I'm saying is that if God has called you to have multiple expressions, embrace it. If you are saying, no, I can't do multiple things at once, God will point you to an apostle and Aaron. Film, church, business,
architecture,
children, family, everything. God will point you. So yes.
All right. So you said I should ask you more questions. So there's this question. Did you get to a point where you, will I call it, envious of other people in your space? Because, let's say that I won't say I can say for sure, but just assuming that when you started out, there was somebody that started out with you. Like you knew other people that started out too, that's on that same journey. And then when you got to a point, you saw that they were doing so great and you were like still in this space, like you've not gotten there. So did you feel any form of envy or jealousy or some sorts that, I have people that are doing well in my space, but like...
So I'll start by telling you a story that Uncle Henry Bigate told us from in Abuja. Bigate said there was someone that trained for him. And then as soon as the person left today, it felt like all of his clients gravitated towards the person. Most of his clients, anyways, or just some clients gravitated towards the person. And somebody came and said, see how this person, they collect work, and they work. He said he knelt down and told God something like, give me my portion. Show me my place, show me my portion. And so since then, he became content, whatever came his way. So I tell people that because you are humans, sometimes, not as if you are envious, but the devil comes to play with your mind and say, see this person now. You bad Jenny Ilona, you're better than this person. And I'm like, not true. Until you catch yourself and say, no, I love this person. So there are times where you feel like, I'm more truly like, I suppose don't pass where I did, where I should have been, But one thing that will keep you rooted back to where you should be is acknowledging that your life is in God's hand.
Exactly.
And if your life is in God's hand, He cannot mismanage it. As I said, we're not where we used to be. We're not where we want to be, but we're where we used to be. Our boss have left the bus stop.
Yes. So,
there will be times that it feels like, you're in that moment where you're thinking about everything. Oh God, why is my life going like this? I mean, now when they've not put it, look at that person, the person is more than you. My brother, it is God that determines these things.
Yes.
So I was telling someone this morning that it's a Yoruba saying tó bá ń lù, tó bá ń dún, Ọlọ́run ló jẹ́ kó máa dún. What it means is that if they play a talking drum and it's sounding for us to hear, it is God that's making it sound. Not really because you're that good.
They're good.
There are people that are not as good as you. Do you understand? That are quote unquote doing well. And like, oh, I'm good. That thing in your heart, that in your heart, is the reason why you're not where they are. So ensure that your heart is free of offense. And don't blame anybody for where you are. I said joking that time that you are saying that my daddy, where was when Agote was working? So you are blaming your father for where you are. Now you are 20-something now. At that point, you should be blaming yourself, not anybody again. Because it is that easy. You yourself, man, you don't break through. So yes, ensure you don't blame anybody. Take responsibility for your life. The ability to determine the outcome of your life is in your hands.
It's in your hands.
So yeah, so you know,
absolutely responsible for the outcome of your life.
Yeah, absolutely responsible. So there's nobody that's doing you. You are doing yourself. So yes, I think that's just about it.
Right. I think we've had so much wisdom here. And the fact that taking responsibility is very important as a creative, upcoming creative, taking responsibility, and no matter the amount of expressions that are coming to your heart, embrace all of them, and in embracing all of them, be wise in embracing all of them, because it is God who has given us this ability to do the things we are doing, and all of the nudges that comes to our heart, it is still God doing them. And so I would like that you tell us your handles where we could follow you for more.
I think for now, I don't know, Instagram and maybe TikTok. I'm just trying to build my TikTok page. So Instagram, Jolaadura Ezekiel, just together. So I think the link to my wedding page is also there. So yeah, but Jolaadura Ezekiel. So for now, all of my expressions come to my
YouTube channel.
My Instagram page. When I want to promote my films as I do it, and to post pictures as I do it. So yeah, so there's that. Then my YouTube channel, Jolaadura Ezekiel Ademike. Once you type Jolaadura Ezekiel, Ademike should come up after it. So yeah, so there's that. So what again? TikTok. I can't remember the handle. We'll put it we'll put it on the screen, on your screen. So yeah, right. I think that.
I'm so delighted that I had this conversation with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Actually, Prince suggested I invited you though.
So yeah, okay.
He suggested that. So
thank you, my
so I'm really excited that you honored our invitation, and thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for pointing out so much, and I really hope that this would encourage somebody out there, as it has blessed me actually to encourage somebody out there. And thank you for sharing your story, for sharing the processes, the skills you learned, difficulties, the challenges, and you made not like you made it easy, but you made it look like that even the challenges is a form to also shape you, and then service also is you moving backward to move forward. So taking service very seriously, and also most importantly responsibility. Take responsibility of your life, and God is also very important in all of these things. Thank you so much, Jolaadura Ezekiel. It was an honor having you on the live podcast.
Thank you.
So what are your final thoughts, like advice? Just
okay. So I'm saying this to the young creative that desires to be in big rooms, or deal with big people. So I'll start by saying, as I said earlier, be bold, but look the part, speak the part, think the part. So nobody wants to give their money or their investment to somebody that looks like, I'll find a way you run away. So nobody wants to. A mentor of mine was in a meeting, and they wanted him to call another important person that spoken about, the work, money, good money involved. So and he just had a phone because he feels like, I don't need to get another phone. Like I'm that well to do. There's no point getting another phone. So as he brought the phone, I was like, create a phone away and feel way around phone to buy. So that was the last time they heard from them.
Are you serious? Wow.
So look the part. So next week like this, I'm going to enter market, bought iPhone 3 camera, bought AirPods, So look the part. I'm not saying live a fake life. I'm saying as good as when you are going for a meeting, anything, don't dress as if you don't have sense. Like, just be wise about it. I went for a program one time like that, and of course, I went with a minister friend, and a very big program. So I sat in the minister's seat. But there was this guy, I don't know who he came with. He came and he wore shorts. Not like, even if he came with a minister. So they came and they pursued him away. So it's like, even if you actually came with a minister, it would be easy for them to think that you're a riffraff, because why are you dressed like this? Like, why? Why are you dressed like this? So, there's a way you dress in public, and people cannot come and tell you, sir, can you leave that place? Take it from me, you dress like a minister. So just dress the part, look the part, because no big person, quote unquote, wants to associate themselves with someone that feels like this person wants to use me and run away. So if you don't look the part, you don't think the part, you come around and are talking, they're covering their mouth, they're covering their nose. So you have to look like where you are going to, or what you're aiming for. You may not have the money now. You may not have the. There were times where we just one jean, maybe one trouser, two trousers. You're not gonna know, because
Exactly.
if you press them, they
No
go.
one's going to ask you.
Nobody will ask you that where you buy your clothes from, as far as it's neat and it's properly ironed.
Exactly.
So you can literally lose jobs, because of those things. And number two, when you eventually enter the rooms that you have been looking forward to, come into, just have sense in the room. Have sense. It's why I can never understand people see, a celebrity like, oh, can't take pictures? Just behave as if you're alright. Just behave like you're alright, because in their mind. So let me tell you something. People that you consider the big people, they are dumbfounded when they see someone that is meeting them for the first time. A person not behaving as if you will die, as you're looking at them, as if you will fall down and die. No, they're like, oh, the people that can see that with people like this. So we can be in a room. I said my friend Israel can be in a room with big people. There are many people that I know that I don't have a picture with them. Not actually because I can't, not actually because if I say not actually because they will say no. It's just self-respect. Why are you doing as if Pastor Lawrence said something once. He said that if you are living like that, it's a sign that it's not sure for you that you'll be great. Because people that are dying to meet, if you truly keep on progressing, you go jam again.
Yes.
So if you are doing as if I wanted a picture, but I don't stand picture today, never. It's a sign that you don't think you'll be great. You don't believe in yourself. Like people that say that this person will jam again. I will truly jam again. And when we jam again, this is more honor.
Exactly.
Like people that have, there was a man I met. I was like, God told me. I felt the nudge. Don't meet this person. I wanted to invite him for my interview. Like, I have this interview around. Like, don't miss this person. I do strong get. I went to meet the man. As I meet the man, there's the way someone look at you like, this person doesn't remember me. I was like, sorry, do you remember me? I met a social person. He goes, yeah, I remember. He felt like he poured me cold water. I was like, so I was like, interview. So I talked to my PA. Yeesh. I felt really embarrassed. I spoke to the PA. I never messaged the PA. It's because I felt like God, I told you. So fast forward I don't want to give some more details because you know what I'm talking about. Fast forward some 1 year, 18 months later, we were in the same space with this person. And we were so close to the person that the person was like, how far? For me, not bad now. So most times, don't eventually calm down and let God do his thing. When it comes back, it is more honor.
More honor.
So people that you tag big, place premium on people that, can be normal around them. Just be normal. Don't live as if you die for this person's validation. Just be normal around them. And so, when that has happened, the third thing, what you see in some rooms should stay in the room. Whatever it is you see in a room, let it stay there. There was a day when I was having, I went to a particular celebrity. He called me, I was like, how far now? Where you do? I said, I'm good. He said, I'm coming to Nigeria. Can you come to my house? Let's meet now. Come and sleep in my house. I said, yeah, now. I did free, but I go CDS tomorrow. Went to the place, got to CDS the next day, and I just had people talking about this particular celebrity. I'm like, the guy was like, I know the guy, and I'm like, so how did I tell you guys now?
Yeah, you're going to his house.
I'm coming from his house. I'm like, there's no point. But some people go and say, in fact, there's no, why do you need that? You don't validate yourself with other people's status. It doesn't make any sense. Just be normal. Live your life normally. We went somewhere, someone like, this photographer, and the person was like, that he knows them. that they live in the Calabar. They don't live there. You don't know where they live. So by the time you want to start talking about things, you will miss yarn, you will miss talk, you will miss jabber, you will say different things. So just avoid, there's no point. So yeah, so I think if you do these things around people that are great, I think they will respect you more.
Sure.
They respect you. And so respect yourself so that they can respect you. Respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, nobody can respect you. So just really respect yourself. There's some things that you never find me doing. Never. Never. So it's just respect. So when other places, like, you're doing so love, you're doing so, I play with people, right? But I respect myself. So people don't disrespect me, quite I respect myself. So even celebs don't disrespect me, quite I respect myself. So yeah, so that's just about it. And know how to talk, know how to communicate. When they sit down like, oh, you can't talk to the celeb, you can't talk to them. I'm like, oh, let me talk to them. This is what I can't talk to. It's just a way of communication. So just balance all these things together, and I'm sure that you have a very strong bank of relationship with people and with God, of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was like really profound. Thank you everyone for staying to this time. I hope you were blessed, and I hope that you got one or two things. And you can also put in the comment section what you learned and what you'll be making do of from now on.